This is Big Business with Sarah. This podcast guides you to finding what you desire most in life and business, because running a business is very much about your personal development. In this podcast, I'm sharing what my clients ask me and how I help them. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're talking about a very hot topic currently happening in my Instagram community, namely if you should or should not cold DM your audience or DM at all. So yes, recently, or actually it has been already quite a while ago, I decided to really don't reach out anymore to potential clients in the DM anymore. And I made some posts about it. I made some stories about it because I actually did want to explain, why I wanted to do this. So if you want to, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. DM, it's a direct message, personal message. Cold messaging means that you're sending someone a message, without them actually really knowing you, and that you're saying, you know what, Sarah, everything is wrong with you. I can help fix everything. Actually, I received a nice message. I'm going to share this with you. Well, it was actually not a nice message, but it's maybe nice to share, what happens to me actually all the time. Meanwhile, all right. So this is from a person, right? I love this post of yours, but we can actually improve this for better reach and engagement. It was a very nice post, actually. I loved, creating it in Canva and everything. And this person continues, I see that the text composition is kind of tight. The color combination as well can be made more appealing to viewers. Also, we can add some graphics that will complement with the message. I'm a graphic designer. I help coaches generate more leads through highly effective graphic design. Let me know if I can help you with this. This has been actually one of the nicest gold DMs that I've ever received. Most of the time it's like, oh yeah, everything that you're doing sucks. It's really bad. Let me help you. I would never say, yes, perfect. Take all my money. It's fine. Can you start immediately? And can I please pay you the highest price? This hardly ever happens, right? So, it does happen, of course, because else people wouldn't send those cold messages anymore. But, the thing is, I'm not here for it. And I was a little bit unfriendly. And I said, yeah, well, if you're really looking into my profile, I don't like cold DMs. But I was friendly. But I was like, yeah. So that's what a cold DM is. People sending you messages and you don't want that anymore. So of course, we are answering client questions here, and this was also one of my client questions, of course. So somebody asking me, saying, okay, Sarah, yes, but if you're not doing that, how do you get clients? So the main reason why I stopped doing this is because I want to treat my clients like the grown-ups that they are. And also, this is really coming from a very deep belief that I only want to coach people who don't need convincing that working with me is great. And this was a big one for me because, I learned all these things, and you can listen back to many podcast episodes of mine, actually, because I used to do this, fortune is in the follow-up, don't let all those leads go, don't let them slip away. I'm really done with that. It's over. And, if somebody comes to me and says, what, I really want to do a DM sales strategy. Yes, of course, do it. Go for it if that's your thing. I respect that. There are actually people who are very successful with that, or they have their values, at some other places in their business, not the same as mine. But for me, it doesn't work anymore. So I want to work with people who want to work with me. So I want to give you a little bit of a context here, because when I first started out, and I believe that if you are first starting out, I needed clients. So one of the ways to do that, obviously, is to talk to people to find out, what their goals are, what their desires are, so I can kind of look at, what is it that people need, or what is it, it's something that, people need help with, in terms of coaching, that I can help them with, because I was convinced I could help everyone. And so when I did that, I have really kept my cold DMing to a minimum, and I never used setters. But actually, there was one of my coaches who told me, this as a sales activity, to do this 30 minutes a day. And I did it because I thought I have to do this, right? Because this is the way that I learned this. And it worked for many other people. So yeah, why shouldn't it work for me? But it completely drained my energy. I really didn't like doing that. And of course, the person on the other side noticed this. So the moment when I realized I didn't want this anymore was when I started to think about what it would be like to receive those messages. Of course, yes, you could have thought about that before, but I was so very convinced that there was just one way, and the way of my coach back then, and I thought, yeah, I should do this, and really. With respect, I'm saying this, right? So it's just also something that I wanted to feel, to experience as a business owner. Like, do I want this in my business? And then I realized no. So I think it was 2 months or something that I did that. So that's obviously when I stopped. And another thing I really didn't want my client was them to feel weird about it. So also the people that I was talking to in the beginning were probably not the people who were a great fit to begin with. So, because the thing is, what I did is, I focused very much on, booking sales calls and all those things, whilst actually what I should have done was create content. And so my word of the year this year is attract. And I really want to attract people, who want to work with me. And in order to do that, I have to create the content, which is exactly saying what we can do when we work together. And, when I'm creating content, I'm being very clear for who it is, who I am. I also want to see people see that. I want to let people see my personality, and I really want to involve them in my world and see what I'm thinking. And so I don't want to make cookie cutter AI content. No, I really want to make content which is mine. So that's really my number one priority right now in my business. Of course, aside from teaching my clients, coaching my clients, but also this. So really creating genuine content, spending a lot of time with that instead of doing those cold DMs and sales calls. And so actually the thing is, the people that I want to work with are the people that are saying, I want to be the person who doesn't need convincing. And that was such a big relief also for me, right? So figuring out who are the people, exact group of people that I want to work with. So when I would be cold DMing, I would convince people to work with me, and then it didn't work. The people that worked with me were already convinced, right? So I didn't need to have difficult conversations with them. No, they just stepped in, right? And people did step in at the beginning because I already, they knew me, from some place, and they thought, okay, yes, let's do this. I'm ready. So I only want to work with those people. So if you're looking at very simple, the marketing model, the know, like, and trust phase, people are only going to buy when they trust you. They will never buy from you when they know you. Maybe they are going to buy from you when they know you, but then it could be, the risk is that it's not really a good fit. So that's the reason why I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not saying that, for instance, so there is a big difference right here. So for instance, in the case, so I would never, message someone saying, hey, thanks for following me. Love your pink sweater, love that you love cats, because I do too. I don't do that anymore. So I'm actually never reaching out. But of course, if somebody has, so last week I had a very big post about CPTSD, and there was actually a few comments on there. And actually yesterday I thought I should actually send those people a message, because they were also talking about their personal experiences. And actually I do want to connect with them, also from a point of view of, sharing our stories, saying thank you for commenting and, that. So that's really building a relationship, it doesn't really have to be a client relationship per se. It can be also just a kind of online friendship, right? So, I'm not being a complete robot about this, saying, no, I'm never sending DMs. No. So it's a fine line, right? So you want to, yes, if somebody's told you, for instance, 3 months ago, somebody told me, I actually really want to work with you. But for instance, the mastermind, which is priced at 2,250 euros, is a little bit too big of an investment right now. Then what I'm doing is that I'm saying, okay, you know what? There's a micro offer coming next month in October. It's called Trailblaze Q4. It's a mini program. It's a little bit less touch points with me. But I think it will really help you further. And right now it's priced at 500. So, if I can help somebody, yes, I will tell them. So, and if I really think they're a great fit, right? Because else I wouldn't do that just to fill up the container. I hate when people say that. Yeah, I'm just filling up my mastermind. I'm like, filling up, these are people, you're helping them progress. And it's not about filling that up. So I want this to be their decision. So I'm not following up. Maybe I'm following up once, but not more. I even had it sometimes that some people would follow up for 3-5 times, after they cold message me. I'm just like, I'm not going to respond. So it's going to be their decision. I trust my clients also in trusting themselves, because clients also, that's the thing, right? So it's the know, like, trust in you, but also in themselves. And especially in my business, of business coaching, is that, before people want to invest, they really need to trust themselves that they can do it. So you're not just going to spend 500 euros on the program and think, I'm not going to attend any of the calls. No, you actually really want to put in the work, right? You have to. It's not, when you pay 500 euros, you will all of a sudden get 10K months. No, you have to do something for that. And so that's also it, right? People have to trust themselves. My clients have to trust themselves. And my goal with my content is to show that they can, actually, that they can trust themselves, that it's not really that difficult, but you do have to put in the work. So that's a little bit of my process of the DMs, so the choices I make. So in summary, I never just reach out to people who are following me or liking me. Maybe if it's a really big comment, yes, then I will send them a message and say thank you, which I just decided this week. But that's it. I do not, send out offers saying, hey, you know what, this is something for you. I only do that if somebody has told me, I really want to work with you, but this investment is a little bit too high. And if I have a smaller program, then I would really suggest it to them. And yes, and really being in the mindset of, working with grown-ups, working with people that don't need persuading. Because obviously I did persuade some people, and in the end it wasn't a match, and it's fine. But that's a big lesson I learned there, and it's fine. It is okay, but we also have to be a grown up about that and say, what, maybe this wasn't the right fit. So I want you to think about this, who you want to attract. Focus really on your content, make it as easy as possible for people to work with you. I'm probably going to record some more episodes on how to create content, in a way that it's really going to attract people. But maybe, maybe you're already doing that. And And maybe you don't care, right? So it doesn't really matter to you, if you would just sell a course, without you being, inside, or if you would sell an online product, or, if there's nothing of you coming in between, then I get why you would do that. Maybe, I don't know. It's just not my business. Not my kind of business. So, that's it. So this is the choices that I make in sending people messages. And I'm actually curious to your thoughts. So do share them with me. And now it's time for one of your questions. There was actually a question coming in, another question from a client, which I wanted to share in this section. It was about, she was about to attend an event, and she was not really sure if she should go yet, because the event doesn't have a lot of people joining, and there's a few people who are there who are not really people that inspire her. And so she was thinking of canceling it. And we talked about this, and I wanted to share this with you, because the interesting thing is that sometimes, when we're saying, so when I was young, I was taught that, if I promise something, I have to do it. Right? I can't back out unless, my arms and legs are not working anymore or anything. I should have a really good excuse, right? Not just cancel something without any good reason. And I asked her, if she recognized that, and she did. And then we spoke about it. Why would you do that? What is the reason? And then she shared with me, it doesn't look good. Okay, yes, but if it's already people that don't inspire you, really, not to be bad or something, but what's wrong with that? And why would that bother you? And then, we would talk about ego, and it was just a very nice conversation. So the advice that I want to give you, listening to this episode, is maybe next time, when you've committed to something that you're not really looking forward to anymore, could be also maybe a talk that you're hosting somewhere, right? And that you're saying, well, actually, I don't want to go anymore because I don't see it. I don't see the point. Yeah, you have to be a little bit, you have to say that in advance for the organizers, but you can skip it, right? You don't have to do everything, or it could also be in your personal life. It's okay. And making very conscious decisions about what you're doing each and every day. And of course, you want to do this before you're making the commitment, obviously, because you don't want to disappoint people. But that's another story. Now, I have a question for you. So I want to ask you to create a piece of content that is going to blow your followers' minds. I'm trying to do this every day. It doesn't work every day, but some of my posts really hit it off. And it's just a really nice feeling. And so it could be a very personal story. It could be very much into detail on how you went through one of your processes, but really try to sit down for it, take 1 hour to really create a beautiful piece of content. And it could be a post, could be a story, could be a LinkedIn post, could be maybe a newsletter, but just really take the time for it and think about what your audience really wants to hear. And let's see what happens. Thank you for listening to Big Business with Sarah. If you've enjoyed today's episode, leave a 5-star review and hit subscribe. If you're ready for your next step in business, you can find out how to work with me in the show notes. Do not forget to submit your coaching question for one of my next episodes. Have a happy day.